keeping an eye on the interior. News 13 Sports starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Jamie Schwartzwald in with sports. It's Thursday, so that means Puck Talk here on News 13. And today we are hanging with the Dogs, specifically goalie Steve Perry. Steve, how you doing, man?
Good, Jamie. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for coming down, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, why don't we start off by telling everyone where you're from and some of your first memories, or actually, how did you become a goalie?
I'm from right outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I started playing inline hockey, and then one day we didn't have a goalie, so they asked me if I wanted to be a goalie, and I was just like, all right, well, and then I tried it and pretty much fell in love with it and just played from then on.
What are some of the differences in going from roller hockey when you're in terms of being in net to going to regular ice hockey?
Like I was so small at the time, so I really didn't really recognize anything. But as far as that, like I just think it's pretty easy.
Right on. Talk about playing midget hockey for the Pittsburgh Junior Penguins. How do you think that prepared you for the next level?
It definitely prepared me for the next level. My team growing up, like we weren't always the best team, so I was always put in situations where it was easy to excel because like wasn't really much expected from me, and I got to see a lot of situations that really helped me for the next level.
Now, I understand the Ice Dogs recruit heavily in Minnesota, a little bit out of California, of course, here locally, but you know, not a lot out of the East Coast. How did it kind of be that you kind of hooked up with the Dogs?
Yeah, well, they actually came and saw me play in a showcase thing in Texas, and then from there, like we just kind of stopped contact for a while, and then I tried out for Sioux City Musketeers in the USHL, and I ended up making their protected list, but there were 3 goalies on it, 2 of my close friends from Pittsburgh, and they didn't think the one kid was going to come back. They thought he was going to go to school, so they just wanted to be safe. And both of them ended up coming back. So I just contacted a few NAHL teams, and Fairbanks was just the best pick for me. So I decided to go with that route.
Well, I'm certainly glad you went with that route.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really paid off for me.
I see that you and Flip have a great relationship. I mean, you guys are always hanging out together when we're on the road. And how valuable is that for you as a new player coming onto this team?
It's great to have someone that can kind of be there for you and relate. Like he's been in the same shoes that I have, so he's played like a large role for me this year. Like he's definitely someone that I can look up to and hang out with. He's actually my mentor on the team, so if I ever have a problem, I go to him. But as far as just a friendship, like it's just someone to battle off of. Like in practice, I always try to work harder than him. He always tries to work harder than me, and it really pays off for both of us.
I agree with that. Okay. Level with me. How old were you when the first Steve Perry Journey reference came up?
You know, it started really young. Everyone always gives me crap for it, but I always get were you named after Steve Perry from Journey? And I'm actually named after Stevie Ray Vaughan. Oh. But everyone thinks it's just a Steve Perry, so I just kind of go with it.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan, way better than Steve Perry.
Absolutely.
Okay, back to the ice. What's your best in-game memory so far this season?
Probably the best in-game memory was my first shutout. First weekend as playing junior hockey. I got my first win the 2 days before, and then the next day I got a shutout. And like my mom surprised me, flew down into Minnesota, and it was really nice to get that for her.
And then how about off the ice? What's your best memory off the ice so far?
Off the ice is probably the month-long road trip we take. It just brings all the guys close together. Everyone gets to know each other a little bit more, and that was just great for the whole team. And it's really paid off throughout the year. Everyone's pretty close. Like I don't think I'll ever be part of a team that's this close.
As a goalie, what would you rather be in, a 5-1 game or a 2-1 game?
I'd definitely rather be in a 2-1 game because I just feel like whenever you get more shots, it's easier to stay in the game. Like whenever you have like just a bunch of like spurts, like where you just stand there for 10 minutes, you kind of get cold, kind of easy to lose focus. So I just like being called upon, having to do my job.
You bring that up. What do you do to stay focused in game when you know the Dogs have the puck in the offensive zone for minutes at a time? What do you do to stay focused as a goalie?
It's all just a mental game. So I mean, just kind of focus on what's at hand. You know, just skate in the corners, just kind of keep warm, and other than that, it's just doing what you got to do.
Okay, talk about Kenai River coming to town. What type of offensive attack do they present?
I'd say their offensive attack is just like any other team. As long as we stick to what we do and everyone's on the same page, we shouldn't have any problem with them.
All right, well, that's Friday and Saturday night, and Steve, I'm looking forward to it, and I want to thank you for coming down.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, you bet. Well, that is going to wrap it up for now. We are getting out of here, but you need to stick around because Micah Johnson's coming up next with your extended 7-day weather forecast. So for Steve Perry, I'm Jamie Schwartzwald, and you're watching News 13.